Okay. Making you host. Welcome everybody to Rainey Speaks. I am Rainey Cheeks and I am your host tonight. I am so glad to have you with me. Please enjoy this sound, this tune as we get ready to start. This song, I Am, is by Miss Mickey Braden from New York City. When the first time I heard this song, I fell in love with it. And I called her and said, I want to use this to open up my program. And she gave me permission, and I'm so thankful. So this song that you're hearing is by Miss Mickey Braden from New York City. Sound of my own heart. I've been moving my feet to the beat of my own heart. How can I follow anyone else? I gotta find it for myself. I can be anything I want to be. I can do anything that I believe. Anyone else? I can do anything that I believe. I welcome you here to Rainey Speaks every Thursday night at 7 p.m. I love it tonight. Everybody know I'm not the most technical person. So I was having all kind of issues getting started, but I'm glad that you're with me. Oops. I'm hitting all kind of wrong buttons. There we go. So I'm going to get started tonight, but before I start tonight, I say this, especially from Thanksgiving until Easter. This is a time that a lot of people, we celebrate and that you're joyous and people inviting you to dinners and parties. Yet for some people, it is a time of depression. It is a hard time to get through. Two reasons. One, we have less sunlight. So I encourage people that especially that suffer with depression, go to the store and you can find what they call happy lights. It's a full spectrum light. Because we have less sunlight, darkness come earlier, so we get full spectrum lights in the house, and it will help with depression. The other thing is some people are dealing with grief because loved ones have passed. And it becomes very difficult of this time of year. This week, Tuesday, I was in the hospital, Tuesday and Wednesday. And I had to get a procedure done on my arm. I'm on dialysis, and they had to do a procedure on my arm. Well, as spirit would have it, my blood work was off, and they had to hold me until the next day. So in the emergency room, they have me on a gurney out in the hallway. And I simply said, okay, spirit, why do you have me in this position? About an hour later, they bring a woman and they put her on the other side of me, right across. And I could see that she was getting agitated. And we started a conversation. In the conversation, she tells me that her youngest son died a year ago and how hard this time was for her. I said to her, well, maybe this is a time, instead of thinking of the dark times about your son, why not think about the good times and what he meant to you? And then she started telling me about how much she loved him and why she missed him, and just began to, it changed her energy. And we talked about it. I said, I know it seems out of order when a child dies before the parent. However, it really sounded to me that you had a wonderful relationship and you have no regrets. And she said, no, I don't. I said, tell me more about it. Well, after we finished, and then, because she was saying, why haven't I gotten a room yet? And they should have a room for me. And I said, we'll be okay. Now we started talking, and I said, I have a feeling your room is going to come. They came down and said, we have a room for you, and it'll be ready in about 30 minutes. She said, what is your name? I said, Rainey. Oh, I said, Albert. She said, you have been such a godsend. She said, what do you do in life? And I started first say a counselor. I said, I'm a minister. She said, I can tell. Oh, wow. She said, well, I'm Jewish. I said, really? And I said, God is God is God. I said, so instead of saying goodbye to your son, she said, how do I say goodbye to him? I said, you don't. I said, I know in your culture, you believe that you will see the person again. She said, yes. I said, then just say, I see you later. You're on the way, trust me. And she just started laughing. And when they were rolling her away, she said, thank you. Thank you so much. Now I know why I had to be up against this wall. And I thought, and I said, thank you, God, you revealed to me why I was supposed to be down here. And so in every situation, sometimes when it looked like it's a bad situation, just ask the question, why am I in this situation? Something will be revealed to you. So that's enough of that. So we're getting into the night is fourth chakra energy. Remember, first, second, and third chakra energy is about survival. The first chakra energy, the first word I'll give you is being grounded. Second chakra energy is, am I creative? It's sexual energy. Am I connected to myself? And third chakra energy is, I am connected to everyone and everything, but it's all about survival. First, second, and third chakra energy is about survival. Now notice, first chakra energy is at the tip of your tailbone. Second chakra energy is between the navel and your groin. No, second chakra energy is at your groin. Third chakra energy is at your navel. Now you think about the navel, how close those three are together. Then there's a jump from the third to the fourth to your heart. I wore green tonight purposely because people think of love and the heart and they think red. The first chakra energy, red, I want you to think of, I use molten lava. You're grounded into the earth. And anytime you need to feel grounded, go stand on the earth. Go put your back up against a tree, climb a tree. My grandmother used to, when I was upset, my grandmother would go climb that tree. And I never understood. And so one day I said, Grandma, why you always tell me to go climb a tree? She said, when that tree is older than you, it knows what to do with you. And so I had to climb a tree. I'm too old to climb most trees now, so I sit up against them. The second chakra is orange. Think of the like from that molten lava, and then lava, when it's spilling out, it turns orange. It's still hot. You need that fire in you to exist. Yellow represents the sun. Things are beginning to grow. Green is the heart, because green represents health. Healthy things, healthy trees, leaves are green. And so green is the heart. And that's where we start. And so the fourth chakra is the powerhouse of your energy. It is that center which connects your first three, your survival energy, into your spiritual energy. So you need the heart, you need that middle chakra, which is the connecting point between your spirit and your body. Okay? So you need the heart, the center. It is, so if you look at the jump, the first three are close together. Then there's a space between your navel and your heart. So the center of the heart is that middle point between the physical body and your spirit. And that's where things get purified. The lower energy, before it can go any higher into the upper chakras, must be purified at the heart. The heart represents love. So, and then we're going to have to talk about the meaning of love, because most people think of love, they think of intimacy and sex, and that's lower energy. That's actually third chakra energy instead of fourth chakra energy. Fourth chakra energy, love, purifies everything before it can go any higher. Before the energy of the lower chakras can go any higher, it must be purified at the heart. And then so the mantra for the heart is, I am love. First chakra, I am grounded. Second chakra is, I am creative. Creative energy, sexual energy, connecting energy is all second chakra. I am creative. Third chakra energy, I am connected. Fourth chakra energy, I am love. And so the fourth chakra energy being green, I am love. The fourth chakra determines your health and your strength. And I'll get into a little bit later about why connected to health. Fourth chakra is connected, it determines your health and your strength. The fourth chakra is emotional in nature. It is emotional, it's where the emotional energy come up, and we all know that, okay? It is where emotional energy is developed. You develop emotionally at the fourth chakra of the heart. It is the job of the fourth chakra to teach us how to act out of love and compassion. Whoa, the fourth chakra has a mighty job. Now, I'm not going to jump ahead of myself to make the connection between what we think of love in sexual energy and the fourth chakra of love and compassion. To have compassion, it must come out of love. Love and compassion is the most powerful energy that we have. It's the most powerful center, it's the most powerful energy that we have. And so we must learn to respond. And it is where we learn to grow spiritually and respond in compassion. To have compassion means that you have sympathy, you have feelings for other people, true feelings, not emotional, true feelings. So to understand that healing, physical healing, is connected to your heart. And it is connected to how much you love yourself. I'm looking down, I'm trying to read my own handwriting. So physical healing, emotional healing, and we think there's a difference, but they are connected. Physical healing and emotional healing is connected to your own love of yourself. It's connected to your, and it comes from a place of compassion. We think of healing, physical healing, I just said it comes from the fourth chakra, and we confuse sometimes fourth chakra life energy with the crisis in our life. Crisis like divorce, addiction, abandonment, death, loss. We think of those in the fourth chakra. But a lot of people work from a place of woundedness, and I call it woundology. And most people specialize in woundology. You know how you can tell woundology? Listen to the language. You can talk about love, and the first thing they talk about is how the last person treated them. Woundology, they didn't take the time to heal. Woundology, this is always happening to me. Woundology. Woundology is connected to the fourth chakra, life crisis. Most life crises come out of a place of woundology. And because we don't take time to really heal, we get stuck right there in the fourth chakra. And although we talk about, yes, I want to love, I know so many people that tell me they want to love it, but they can't find no good person. And I asked, do you mean that when you look in the mirror, you don't see a good person? So you're the only good person on the planet? You must take control. And we think love means, I love myself because I give myself things. I give myself, I buy my toys. I do good things to myself. That is not fourth chakra energy. That's third chakra energy. Oh, let me say this. Everything have layers, okay? The higher level, when we're talking fourth chakra energy, is not about things. It's not about, I gave myself a gift because I love myself. Loving myself means I'm willing to look at my wounds. I'm willing to forgive myself. I know some people that say crazy stuff like, I forgive, but I don't forget. And one person we know says, I don't forgive, I don't forget, and I get even. I'm like, you know, that is not love. You're still working in a place of woundedness. To work in a place of love and compassion means that you are willing to look inwardly and forgive yourself. And forgive yourself for all that you're going through, because not forgiving has nothing to do with the other person. It keeps you locked into a space of woundedness. And now you're willing to share your woundedness to everybody that will listen. And the only way to free yourself from woundedness is to be willing to take the challenge to go inside and face yourself. Taking the challenge in woundedness, in true fourth chakra energy, because that's where your freedom is. As long as woundedness is an addiction. It's like any other addiction. We get addicted to drugs, we get addicted to sex, we get addicted to drinking. Woundedness is an addiction. And you can tell it because the people that are that's stuck in woundedness never let it go. And they can talk about how much they want another partner, or you hear craziness like, I don't never need to be with anybody the rest of my life. Really? No. And woundedness is like this. It's like having a splinter in your hand. And because it hurts so much to touch it, you leave it alone. And what happens is you get adjusted to picking things up without using that finger. No matter what finger it is, you get adjusted to being able to pick things up and work around, because if you push on it, it hurts. And then somebody comes to you and says, you know, you have a splinter in your hand? You go, it's okay. No, you really do have a splinter in your hand. You need to pull it out. Give me your hand and I'll get it out. And they start digging in your finger and you pull back and fight and cuss because of the pain in the pulling it out. Only after it gets all the way out do you go, oh, that feels better. Yes, you had adjusted to the pain. And there's a difference between pain and hurt. Hurt is when you remember it. Pain is physical when you feel it. So when you, to free yourself and to truly love yourself, you need to take time and look at what spaces in my life am I wounded? And how do I begin to bring the ointment for the healing? Then I can express myself as a loving being. And I can also accept that when someone may have an attitude with me, I simply go, well, I didn't do it. That I see woundedness. And if you can learn to see the IV pole, like I was at the hospital with bags of medicine, and you see that person, some person just got an IV pole with one bag. Some people got an IV pole with 5 bags of medicine, an eye patch, and an arm in a sling. You got to be able to see it and then realize, oh, this wasn't about me. They're just hurt. And they're in the process. Some people want to heal and some people do not. So once you begin to accept the place of woundedness, you can accept the place of forgiveness. Now, to work through forgiveness, I'm going to say this. It's simple. It is not easy. I have never used the word easy in healing or forgiveness. When I talk about forgiveness, it is nothing easy. It's a journey. It's a process that you have to be able to face your own stuff and be able to push through it and to get through that energy that is holding you back. So fourth chakra energy healing means you have the courage to face and fourth chakra energy means you have the courage to listen to your own heart because it's trying to tell you something. And when you listen, take the courage, what is my heart telling me? And honestly, I always say to people, be calm in this place. You have to be patient and you have to be gentle to listen to your heart. And then your heart will begin to speak to you. And it will say, this is the lesson that you needed to learn. This is why this happened. It will talk to you. And you have to have the courage to face whatever it's going to say. And sometimes it says things like, you know that you did that and it wasn't nice. Was that the best you could do? Because we know that when we get angry, we try to get even. I wanted an experience I had that somebody who did something to me that was off the page. And this person actually died, and I was asked to preach his funeral, his eulogy. And at first I was about to say, oh, no, go get somebody else. I know who this is. You know? And I had to stop and say, is that how you're actually going to represent God in your life? That you can't forgive this person? Really? And so literally I stood in the mirror and I said everything I needed to say. And then I was like, does that make any good sense? And it was like, no, not really. Because I called him every name I could. I'm not gonna lie. I called him every name I could. I had to get it out of my system. I had to face myself. And then I had to say to myself, is this really how you want to represent God? No, okay. Let this go. And I went and I preached the best sermon I could on him. You know? So this fourth chakra energy, this heart energy, is where you find the courage, one, first to face yourself, honestly face yourself. And that's when you ask yourself questions like, is this my truth? Is this my truth? And then you can respond to it in a healthy way. And I always say, so people who may have just joined me, that anywhere along the line, if you got a question, shoot it in the chat box. I'll get it and see if I can make sense out of answering it. So forgiveness is an act of love that frees you so that you can move forward. Self-love means having the courage having the courage to face your past and to let your past go. And how do you know you've faced your past and it has no more power over you? Because the moment you talk about it, you won't trust your gut. If you're still getting a little riled, you haven't let it go, you haven't faced it, you haven't dealt with it, you're still in the place of being wounded. Once you're willing to face it and deal with it and let it go and say, I can let this go. No matter what, forgiveness is never about the other person. It is where you can free yourself. I have an expression. This is a Raineyism. Say thank you to those who seem to be your enemies. They teach you the greatest lessons. That is a Raineyism. Say thank you to those who seem to be your enemy. They teach you the greatest lessons. How do you know that is not one of God's angels testing you? Sometimes God will use the craziest person to push all your buttons just to see how you're going to respond. You don't have to fight everything. Sometimes you can just go, you know, that's not my truth. Okay. And okay, blessings. Like I said, the lady the other night on the gurney, I could have looked at her and say, and left her alone. And another example, the guy next to me, he was really agitated. And I said, brother, just breathe and calm down. Don't tell me. I said, I know it's hard, but trust me, you'll get a different response. I said, put yourself in the places of the nurse. If somebody was hollering and cussing at you, would you go to see them? I always tell people, be careful. Be careful of people that do two things: handle your food and your medicine. Baby, you crazy if you trying to cuss people out. One time I was in a Chinese restaurant, a takeout, and these young boys were in there, and I walked up to the window and I said, "Ni hao mao," and the guy came over to me and took my order. And my order came before those, and they were like, how do he get his food first? Because they were making fun of the Chinese. Ching chong chong chong. So I looked at them, I said, brothers, after I got my food, when my food came, I said, Sese, I said, brothers, your grandparents should have taught you, never cuss at people that are handling your food. And you don't speak Chinese. You have no idea what they said to the cooks. Spit in number 2. Get the dirty chicken from the floor, number 5. And it's taking you longer to get your food. If I were you, I shut up and wait. They looked at me, I said, bye-bye. And took my food and walked on out the door. Instead of responding from that unhealthy place, from the place of being wounded, learn to forgive, learn to take control of your emotions. Now, this is another connection between 4th chakra and 2nd chakra energy. We think of love, we think of intimacy. And in the English language, we only have one word for that, for love. It's like, and there are so many different meanings. In other languages, there are 2 or 3 different words for love. And I'll just use, in the Bible, agape love is unconditional love. Then there's brotherly love, that like the word where Philadelphia comes from, Philippio. We have eros, which is erotic love. When we say, I want to be intimate with you, we think of sex. Intimacy has nothing to do with sex. I love the breakdown of the word intimacy is into me see. I'm willing to be vulnerable with you. I'm willing to let you see who I am, intimacy. And because we don't understand these different meanings, there's a lot of confusion when you say to somebody, I want to be intimate with you. That does not mean be sexual with you, which most people do interpret. So we have to be clear about our language. And intimacy is connected between 3rd chakra, which means I'm connected to other people, and 2nd chakra, which is sexual energy, creative sexual energy, okay? So to be clear about it, we have to work from a place of being able to be free and take care of that place of being able to heal And that healing, and I will say this, that healing can take a slap or overnight in an instant, or it can take you the rest of your life. It is your choice. It is your choice. And so if you're willing to do the work and you're willing to do the homework and face you, then you begin to free yourself and you move into a place of healing. Now, I said earlier that the heart energy, there's a great distance between the first, second, third, up to the fourth. And so the fourth chakra is I am love, because you were created out of love. I don't care if your spirit was created out of love. How? Because if we say God is love, the creator of the source of life is love, then you're created out of that space. So no, I don't care what the physical circumstances that brought you into existence, you were still created out of love. I know people that really struggle with, I can't find my father. I'm not sure if this is my mama. I was adopted. And I said, but there's a reason for you to be here. Say thank you. I know someone who was going through, I just was never close with my father. I said, brother, think of your father at the time. I said, how old is your father? And he said, 86, 87. I said, okay, think of him at his time of growing up as a Black man, what it was like. I said, did you always have a roof over your head? Yes. Did you ever miss a meal? No, my father worked all the time. Did you always have clothes? He did his job. He provided a safe place. He provided food on the table. He provided an atmosphere that you could grow in. For him, he did his job as a man. He provided food, shelter, clothing. I said, take yourself back 60 years ago. And what was it like for a Black man 60 years ago to come up? I know what it was like for me in my house. It wasn't easy. And it's the one thing that sort of tear people apart. And I had to learn early to ask myself, why was I really born? What was my purpose for coming to earth? And that got me to a place to be able to literally say to my father, thank you. I had a rough time with my father. And I couldn't understand why we crashed. And the older I got, yes, my father was physical with me. And when the older I got, people would say, boy, the older you get, the more you look like your father. And my father was the last one I wanted to look like. And then what I realized was the older I got, he wasn't hitting me, he was hitting himself, because I reminded him so much of himself. And it's crazy because I have a picture of me when I was in the military in a uniform. And when I looked at a picture of him in a uniform, it was like, oh my God, I look just like my father. Now I look and say, he was a handsome guy. So I am grateful to him. And I was able to work it out and realize we could not go to death with this. So I would look at him and say, I went to him one day. Now, I'll just tell you the short version. When he came over, and they would say to me, Daddy's outside, I would simply go out the back. So from the age of 12 until 20, my father never saw my face. He would only see the back of me leaving. And one day they came to me and said, Daddy's outside. And I started to leave. And I said, no, I need to resolve this. And I turned around and walked into the truck where he was sitting there. And I said, hi. And he looked at me and said, Rainey? I said, Daddy? He said, is that you? I said, is that you? And he started crying. I said, listen, you did what you had to do. I did what I had to do. We are both okay. Excuse me, I need to grab something. I'm back. And so in that situation, I realized that the only way we were going to heal was that I turned around and faced this. And after that, we became great. I'm glad I did, because 2 years later, he made transition, he died. And I'm thankful today. And what I had to go through in my mind was find all the things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for he did provide for me food and shelter. I'm grateful for the clothes I got. I'm grateful for him even making it. Without him, I wouldn't exist. So I had to go through my point of being grateful, and that's where you start. You begin to face where you're wounded and what it's going to take to heal. You take a moment to, let me look at my list here of things that you can, my list. This is all fourth chakra energy. Oh, I gave this one. When you pass a place or a person, do you feel any energy in your body? If you do, then you realize there's some unresolved issues. And you need to take a good look at them and face them so that you can resolve those issues. Do you have a need to be in control, especially over other people? You ask yourself why. When someone is stepping out of your life, does it kick up feelings, abandonment issues? Fourth chakra energy. So the key to fourth chakra energy to heal is really free yourself. To free yourself in the fourth chakra energy, it is about loving yourself, truly loving yourself, and willing to do the work, willing to face the pain that wounded you so that it frees you, that I can now move on to a new truth. Somebody nod if this is making any sense at all. Okay, I at least got a nod, okay? You know, sometimes I go off this and I go, you know, people can call you crazy, but if you never teach anything or say anything, they can't prove it. But once you start doing stuff like this, they take notes and then go, see, we told you he was crazy. I love it. I love doing this. So this is fourth chakra energy. Fourth chakra energy purifies all of the lower energy. Now watch this. When we get to the fifth chakra at the throat, which I go to next week, when you stretch your arms out like this, think of the cross, okay? What people don't realize is that the bars that stretch horizontally across is called the ring pass knot. Nothing can pass this unless it has been purified through love. And if it hasn't, it stops it. Because here is where the fourth chakra, the fifth chakra, is where you speak the truth. If it's been purified through the fourth chakra, then you can speak truth. That's fifth chakra, and that's next week's work. It look like I got to find something blue to put on. So first chakra, I'm grounded. Second chakra, I'm creative. Third chakra, I am connected to everything and everyone. Fourth chakra, I am love. Fifth chakra, I speak the truth. I see on the chart we have communication, truth. That's right. I speak the truth. Through love, I speak the truth. So work at freeing yourself from any place in you of being wounded. Then you can truly serve with compassion. And anybody that you're working with, when you can recognize that they're wounded, be patient with them. They didn't get in it overnight. They don't get out of it overnight. Your job is to model how to work from a place of true love. Many people have no idea what true unconditional love is because they have never experienced it. And if they have never felt it, sometimes I do things for people and they ask you, well, why? They think that you're up to something. That's why I created the program at church, No Footprints. And that is go out and give something to somebody with no record that you were ever there. Just an expression of true love. And so sometimes people, before they can experience it, they have to see it modeled. Now, we all can be loving when things are nice and peachy and you're comfortable and all of your needs are met. It's in those moments when all hell is breaking loose, can you still be a loving person? Can you still rise above it and realize I'm not connected to this. I'm not going to work out of that place of being wounded. I'm going to model, because you never know who is watching you. And for all of the folks who are priests in any way or walk a spiritual path, many of the people who are wounded will watch you from a distance and never say to you, I was watching you. Now, that don't mean go fake it. That means do the self-work so that you can work from a true loving place of being whole, Anybody will people push your buttons? Oh, absolutely. I always have to credit Dr. Wiley for this. She said to me one time, every person that is a therapist need a cuss room, because if you're working with people, they're going to make you cuss. So I always tell her, Dr. Wiley, I have a cuss room. I use it often. I even have a portable one. I carry it with me. I don't always make it in the room, but at least I got one. So you got to know that people will push your buttons, but you have to realize sometimes those are not my buttons. I saw a woman do something one day and I looked at her and I just applauded. She was about this tall. And I was getting someone into a drug rehab center. And a couple of people were just there, just going off. And when she walked out, she said, no, lower your voice. She said, I want you to go out the door. When you can get you under control, you can come back in and I will help you every way I can. But as long as you are screaming and out of control, I cannot do anything for you. Now I will do my part. You must do your part. So please leave. And I looked at them and I just, wow. She did not buy into any of that energy because the other ones were kind of fighting with these guys. She said, nope, She said, You get you under control, and I will do my best to help you. And I told her later, I said, you know, I need to applaud you the way you handled that. And she said, I just learned that their stuff is not my stuff, and I just won't go there. When they calm down, and they know me well enough to know that when they calm down, I will do my best. I will honor my word and do my best to help them. So fourth chakra energy is a center that is the connecting between the physical world and the spiritual world. Because once we leave the heart and come up here, notice even on the cross, the top part is short because these centers are real close. Throat, 1, 2. So they're really close. And so that energy deals now with all spiritual energy. But before it can come up, we must purify it and have it clean through your heart. And that you must be a clear vessel so this energy can come through. I think I am going to stop right here. Do I have anything that I've missed on you? I don't think I have. Right. So let's learn to be more compassionate. Let's learn to be more loving. Let's learn to work from a place of wholeness. Let's learn to first deal with your own woundedness so that you can model, you know, your actions are the best teachers. I always say people listen to what they see, not to what you tell them. That people watch what you're doing. So if you're talking about, you know, the creator is love and be a loving person, but under stress, you're not, then you say to them, this is really how you do it. I'm still working at it too. Trust me, I'm still working at it. But this is fourth chakra energy. Well, I love it. You guys have let me off easy and no questions. Then remember that this is a place of power. This is where we operate power. I do a workshop called The Art of Loving Yourself. And my expression on that is I love myself because I'm worth it. Know that you are worth being loved. And when you know that you're worth being loved, I don't have to fight anybody. I don't have anything to prove. I'm comfortable in my skin. I can enjoy my life. I have nothing to prove. I love myself because I am worth it. Why? Because what does that mean? I'm worth giving myself the best. I am worth appreciating all that I am, who I am, and that I'm made out of love. I am worth not staying in a place of being wounded. I'm willing to do the work to heal myself. I love myself because I'm worth it. Well, I think that I am out of time. I think I'm at the end of my hour. I appreciate everyone that has joined me. I see Pearl tonight. I see Cosmos tonight. I thank my tech, G Colors, who helps me to push the right buttons. I mean, as far as the computer is concerned. I want to say the song that we opened up was with Mickey Brayton, and the song that you're listening to now is by Richard Smallwood, and his name is Ricky Fontaine, who is singing. When I heard this song, I was like, yes, I need that song. And to everyone through this holiday season, please take care of yourself. Self-care is so important. This is a time of struggle for a lot of people. I encourage everybody during this period, take your phone, go through your phone book, call everybody you know, and just leave a message if you don't get them to say, thinking about you, and leave your phone number if you're serious. Because sometimes people are in depression and they can't even think about where your phone number is. But it then says to the person, I am really serious. We're talking the fourth chakra energy, love. This is how we demonstrate love. And I literally call everybody in this thing. And I mean, you don't have to do it in a week. Between now and Easter, that gives you a few months. And somebody come to your mind and your spirit, call them. Let them know. Thinking about you, or you came to my spirit. I called somebody the other day and they said, I was just thinking about you. And I said, yes, what? And they said, no, sir. I said, I know what? I heard you. You never know what someone is going through and how you may be the only anchor, the saving grace in their life. So call everybody you know just to say, I was thinking about you. And if there's anybody that you may be at odds with, call them and say, you know, I want to squash this. And if they're not ready, you did your part. That is a difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. If you're trying to work it out with somebody, that's reconciliation. If they're not ready, you've done your part. And then you forgive yourself for even holding on to that energy. And it frees you so that you can move forward. Fourth chakra energy, it's a lot of work. Healing is a process. Healing is a process. And we're all in process. Some of us are this far on the journey. Some of us this far on the journey. Some of us are further down the road, but we're all in process of healing and making our life whole. So use your power in the most positive way that you can, and you will experience freedom in ways that you have never experienced freedom before. And just like the other night, like I said, in the hospital, being able to talk to this Jewish woman laying on a cot, and the spirit just said, talk to her. And I was able to help her bridge a gap for the loss of her son to where she is. And I said, every time he comes to your mind, instead of thinking that you lost him, just say, baby, I see you later. And then think of the good things and the good times you had with your life. And, you know, although I do grief counseling work, I never know what I'm going to say when that come up, but just trust the spirit. It will give you the words to say. And sometimes you don't need to say anything. Are you willing to be with that person while they're in pain? I was with Dr. Jeremiah Wright one time. Out of all places, we were at Tuskegee University, and we were speaking, and I saw him in the hallway sitting on the bench, and I saw him, I walked by, I said, Doc, you okay? And he looked at me and said, I was just thinking about my father who passed last month. And I looked at him and said, you know, Doc, I don't have any words that you don't already know, but I can sit with you. So he tapped the chair and I sat down. And he looked up after a couple of minutes and said, Rainey, that was one of the best sermons I've ever heard. Thank you. Sometimes, are you just willing to be there in the pain with the person? You don't have to worry about, do I have the special words? Demonstrate love. Love is a noun, not a verb. Or let me reverse that. Love is, is an adjective. Okay? Action. And I know we all have it. So that closes that. I know I said goodbye 15 minutes ago, but you know, I always say bye at least 4 times. I pray that everybody have a wonderful holiday. I hope something that I said tonight blessed your heart. I thank you for showing up each week. I thank you for those who have keep me going with any donations that you've made to Rainey Speaks at Cash App. I love it. Thank you. Next month, I will be going doing meditation I'm doing two. One is going to be with Baba Kevin Green. For those who know him, you can check in with him at Luke and Me Temple. And I will be teaching a basic meditation class with him. And then I'm also going to be live teaching meditation. I am getting the space set up so that those who hear, and we will do social distancing to do meditation live. And then I will be doing deeper lessons on the chakras and how we work with them each and every day. Well, I pray blessings on everyone. I pray that everybody that see you, hear you, touch you, even think of you, will experience love overflowing in your life. I pray that your cup overflow. The scriptures tell us my cup overflow. It didn't say my cup is half full or half empty. It says it's overflowing. And if you get a bigger cup, that cup overflow. Get a bigger cup and let that cup overflow. And something that I learned, never take from your cup. Let bless people with the overflow in your life. Don't get me started preaching up in here. So as we go through this holiday season, I pray peace and blessings. I pray that people see the light in you shining so bright that they will have to put on sunglasses even to watch you. So until next Thursday night, not goodbye. I will simply say, see you later. Peace and blessings to everyone. Thank you.